Hello everyone, welcome back to LewisFiction and welcome to episode 8 of MTV Spider-Man Season 2. If this is your first time watching the channel, make sure you go back and watch episode 1 or else this will make no sense to you. But if you are all caught up and you're not subscribed to the channel for some reason, then what are you doing? Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to push to 10,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can hit that goal by the end of this year. That'd be absolutely awesome. With that said, let's get straight into this. We open up this episode with a flashback to 2 years earlier. We follow two college students at ESU, Flint Marko and Alex O'Hearn. A good deal of this opening is spent with them showing us how good of friends they are. They will be hanging around and skating around the campus. They stood out like sore thumbs, Flint with his striped light green and dark green shirt, and Alex with his noticeable grey sweatshirt with a flame printed on the front of it. They were typical skaters, usually rocking a snapback or some form of skating tomfoolery. Flint will tell Alex that he's got a crush on this girl called Stacy, and Alex tells him to approach her and ask her out. Flint eventually plucks up the courage to go up to her and ask for her number. However, during this interaction, as Alex watches from afar, we watch as his face creases into an awkward motion. Flint was rejected. He holds his head low as Alex approaches him, saying it's fine, there's always next time. Flint, bummed out, walks away and doesn't say a word. We cut to later on that night. Flint and Alex are out at an old abandoned power plant. All the open space is a great place to skate at night, plus no one is going to find them. They perform trick after trick until Flint finds an unusual and unsuspecting pit of sand right off the edge of one of the cooling towers. A very faint light can be seen illuminating from the middle of it as they both wonder what it is. Flint says that they should check it out, while Alex tells him it's not a good idea. However, Flint doesn't listen and steps foot onto the sandpit. Alex doesn't follow, and in a sudden few moments, the sand beneath Flint's feet collapses as he falls directly into the sandpit. Alex screams out his name, but he's not coming back. A few moments later, the police arrive on the scene as Alex explains everything to Officer Barr, and with that, we cut to present day. We mash cut to the same sandpit as it rumbles and bubbles, like something is trying to break free. And in an unlikely fashion, Flint Marko emerges from the pit, seemingly looking alive and well. We then cut to Peter, who has a new sense of confidence and swagger about him. The college ball is coming up at ESU, and with the symbiote suppressing Peter's innermost fear, blocking out the thought of Indy's death, Peter decides maybe he should ask MJ to the ball. He hasn't spoken to her much recently, and he doesn't even know why he let Indy's death bother him in the first place. He blows it off as if it's nothing, as we can clearly tell as an audience that the symbiote is starting to plague Peter's mind. He will approach MJ at ESU, as MJ scowls at him. Peter uses his utmost confidence to sweet-talk MJ, but MJ can tell something is different. He will then ask her if she wants to go with him to the ball. MJ asks if he's joking, and Peter says, of course not. MJ will say he's acted like a complete idiot recently, not speaking to her, not taking her calls, not showing up to her show, and now he expects that she would go to the ball with him? The expectation is unbelievable, she'll say to Peter. She will say that she gets Indy's death took a toll on him, but he can't be serious right now. And suddenly, this takes Peter back a bit. He's reminded of the pain that he's been through. His facial expressions will be that of a man of sorrow, a man who is reminded of the pain that he's endured all season long. MJ says that she's going with Harry anyway, and with that, walks away. Peter is left slightly heartbroken. However, it isn't long until the symbiote regains its control over Peter's mental state. He pushes himself back up, saying he doesn't need her anyway. He's Spider-Man. He's got the best job in the world. Why would we need MJ? Peter will think to himself. In fact, we know exactly who to ask. Peter will think. We cut to a scene with Peter meeting up with Gwen Stacy. Gwen, obviously, who grew a liking to Peter earlier in the season as they got close during the first 2 episodes. Peter will ask Gwen Stacy to the ball instead, who gladly accepts. Happy that maybe finally Peter is willing to take this relationship a little bit further. Peter is happy, and Gwen is happy, as Peter says he'll pick her up in half an hour before it starts. We will then cut to a scene later on in the episode with Eddie Brock. Eddie is still looking for the symbiote as it's the only way he'll be able to be cured. This is when he catches a glimpse of Spider-Man on the news stopping the car that tried to escape from the burning building. He notices that Spider-Man's costume isn't his usual red and blue, but rather black. The news footage shows Spider-Man with incredible strength and black webbing. Eddie puts the pieces together, and when he realizes that Spider-Man is the one that has stolen the symbiote, Eddie in a rage smashes some glass on the side of the table. We cut to later on, and Eddie is still furious. What will he do? How is he going to get it back off Spider-Man? And why would Spider-Man even steal it in the first place? It doesn't matter. All Eddie can think about is how angry he is. He needs someone to talk to, he'll think. Someone to spend a little bit of time with. Everything in his life at the moment seems to be going wrong, so maybe he just needs to calm down and relax. He looks up to his phone and hovers over Gwen's contact. He calls her and asks her if she wants to hang out tonight. He really needs someone there for him. However, Gwen apologetically declines because she has a date with Peter. Eddie passive-aggressively slams the phone down on Gwen and places his head in his hands. If there are two people in his life that are the literal bane of his existence right now, it is Spider-Man and Peter Parker. He lets out a deep sigh as he wallows in his anger. We then cut to the ball. Peter and Gwen roll up, and Peter is confident as ever. MJ and Harry are there as well, as they notice Peter walk in with a new girl. This catches MJ off guard as her face drops, saddened by seeing Peter with someone else. Harry notices this and tells MJ that he's really crossed the line this time. MJ frowns as she drags Harry's hand to the dance floor. Peter and Gwen will start dancing too, as Peter keeps looking in MJ's direction. MJ will be doing the same to Peter. It becomes increasingly obvious that they are trying to outdo each other, as it becomes petty. We then cut over to the entrance of the ball, and we see Alex O'Hearn from the start of the episode enter the ball with Stacy, the girl that rejected Flint Marko at the start of the episode as well. And before you thought the situation couldn't get any worse, Flint Marko enters through the front door. Everyone believing Flint to be dead stops in their tracks. Even the music stops. Flint asks what is going on as he looks to Alex's way. He sees Alex with Stacy as he asks what they are doing together. Alex, more surprised that he's alive, runs up to hug Flint. However, when he does, Flint's arm drops off and sand goes everywhere. The crowd gasps as Peter enters a defensive mode, his spider sense starting to creep into the back of his mind. He places himself in front of Gwen, MJ, and Harry as he continues to analyze the situation. Alex asks what the heck happened to him. How is he alive? What is going on? Flint, however, seems deluded and really confused, saying that Alex betrayed him. Alex asks what is he talking about, as Flint refers to Stacy. It's clear that Flint remembers nothing, and his last conceivable memory of life was from that night that he died. Flint will say that Alex has gone behind his back. However, Alex tries to explain that Flint has been gone for years. Everyone thought he was dead, but Flint won't have any of it, as he lashes out at Alex, sending a beam of sand his way. Flint, enraged, grows into a sand monster. The crowd starts scurrying, as Peter makes sure that everyone gets out safe before the symbiote engulfs his body. Before the Sandman could attack Alex once again, Spider-Man intervenes, saying that someone somewhere always has to ruin everything. In a non-sympathetic way, this upsets Flint more, as Sandman and Spider-Man engage in battle. Symbiote Spider-Man had grown cocky, feeling invincible, but the Sandman was a different kind of battle, something that he'd never faced before. Therefore, Peter found it harder to combat his abilities. During the battle, Peter took him outside and towards a fire hydrant before spraying the water all over the Sandman to immobilize him. This turns the Sandman back into his human form, as Peter continues to pummel Sandman, punching him in the face. Alex runs over to Spider-Man, telling him to stop and to get off him. However, he doesn't listen. Alex grabs Spider-Man, and Spider-Man jolts and throws Alex off him to the other side of the street. This enrages Alex, but Spider-Man comes to his senses, realizing Sandman is down and out for the count. He has no reason to keep going. Peter swings away and gets to the top of a building as he looks to his hands. What has he become? First MJ, and now this? What are we? Peter will say to himself. And as thunder claps and Sandman is taken away, we end our episode right there. Thank you for watching episode 8 of MTV Spider-Man Season 2. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it and also make sure to comment down below to let the algorithm know that you enjoy my content. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see part 1 in my own cinematic universe for Spider-Man, and on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see my pre-write for the MCU Spider-Man College Trilogy. Thank you for the members for the continued support on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, and peace.